Okay, the quality points to look for when you're actually buying a fresh chicken is to make sure that the breasts are quite plump and the backbone hasn't sunken in too much. The flesh should be quite a nice pinky white colour with no grey at all. If you look at the legs, there should be no red marks on the actual legs. If there are red marks on the legs, that's usually urine burns from when they've actually been bred in captivity. You look inside the cavity and just check that there's no guts or gallbladders or anything like that in there. And you check that there's no nicks, bruises, blood marks or anything like that all the way around the bird. Okay, most poultry that we buy in nowadays have already been pre-trussed by the butchers or the supermarket in which you're buying them from. So this one has already been trussed up for us, and what they've used is an elasticated string that won't melt or break when you cook them in the oven. But when you're actually trussing a chicken yourself, what you've got to make sure that you do is that you bend both the legs round and tuck the knuckles into just by the breast there, and you pull the breast skin over and hold them down there. You then make sure that the wings are tucked in underneath them and they sit underneath the body. To finish the process off, you use the string or the elasticated string just to tie around the front section here, around the back and underneath the neck end this side, just to make sure that it's all in position and it looks all nice, neat and tidy. Okay, so to cut the chicken for sauté, what we're going to do is we're going to dislocate the legs first, cut down through the skin and then remove the leg joints. We're going to cut the leg joints into two, so we're going to have a thigh and a drumstick portion, and we're also going to clean the bone down and remove the spurs or the leg bits here. We're then going to remove the winglets, which are these little pieces here at the joint, just to remove those because there's no actual meat in there. Then we're going to cut the chicken in half, going down this way to remove the breast side from the rear of the bird. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is to remove the legs from the main carcass. And to do that, you just make a little nick in the skin, making sure that you're not damaging the flesh on either the thigh or the breast. Turn the chicken onto its side, and we need to dislocate the hip or dislocate the leg. By doing that, you just push down firmly, and you'll hear that dislocation. And then to remove the actual chicken leg is you cut through the skin, and again make sure you don't go through the flesh. Follow it around naturally and you'll find a little oyster here, and just make sure that you guide your knife around there. Follow the bones around. Cut between the joint and the knuckle there. And then on this leg, find where the joint is, so find where it bends and just cut the leg off. And to separate the thigh from the drumstick, again, you need to find where that joint is, cut through there, and repeat the process on the other side. Again, follow the knife around, get the oyster out. And I've actually dislocated this one a little bit too much. again, remove this section. Again, find the natural joint here. Oops, I've actually gone a bit too far on this one here. There you go. And place those ones on the tray. We're now going to remove the wingtips from the bird. So same principle actually applies. You find the joint here and just gently go through. And repeat on the other side. Just going to turn this bird around. Okay, so what you're left now with is basically a legless chicken. If you sit the chicken up, so the neck end is on the board there, and all you want to do with a large chef's knife is just cut through, making sure that you can remove the wings in one piece as well. So we just want to remove the back bit. So sometimes you have to be a little bit brutal with this. And then this, just cut this piece in half, just going straight through the bone. Now this piece is usually used for stocks and soups. And then going back to your bird, we want to actually remove the breast now. There's quite a lot of excess skin on the breast, which we don't want. So remove the skin, making sure that you're putting the rubbish away as you go. And at the back of the bird, you'll find a wishbone. So just feel around for the wishbone. Using your small boning knife, place your knife in the back and just scrape. Just to clean the bone, and then just remove the bones. This bone's already broken with your fingers. And the same for this wishbone. Then the next thing we want to do, because we want to keep this on the bone, there are two methods of doing this. You could remove it from the bone. So, like what you would do if you were filleting a fish, you'd follow your knife down the back and remove the chicken from the bone, which we're not going to do today for sauté. What we want to do is cut directly in half. So find the backbone. Just go through that bit there. Just remove that. And you're left with two breasts. Now these are too big for a portion. So what we now want to do is just have a wing portion and a breast portion. Just remove the bones. And to do that, you just cut at an angle that way. A little bit of pressure just to go through that backbone. And the same with the other side. Okay, so for sauté of chicken, you should have 2 breast, 2 wing, 2 thigh, 2 drumstick, and you've got the back carcass for stews, soups. Okay.